No.
Wow. Okay, first of all, welcome everybody to Starbucks, one of the many thousands of Starbucks in Bakersfield. If you hear music in the background, I'm so sorry about that. We might end up getting muted at the end of the day with all that music. Anyway, we're here to discuss Portal stuff. By the way, we reached our goal of 700 subscribers. Now we're working toward 800. 707. Wow.
Congratulations.
Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button. You know, Timothy's here already to wish us well. What's up, guys?
What's up, Timothy?
Yeah, so if I talk a little lower tonight, it's because I don't want to disturb the guests around me that are having their coffee and homework. Yeah. Okay. So we have tonight Portal Talk. We got some football talk. We got some wrestling talk. We got a little bit of everything. Where do you guys want to start this foray tonight?
Up to you guys. Dean, you're the boss.
All right. We're going to start with the women's Portal Talk. Okay.
Really?
Okay. But the first thing I want to do is I want to congratulate a former Hawkeye on her new team.
Yep.
She got signed by the new Portland team.
$1 million for 2 years.
2 years, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the beauty about the WNBA expanding, is because people like Megan get more of a chance and they don't have to go overseas.
Yeah.
You know, even with Hannah getting drafted in the second or third round, which she's predicted to do, you know, that gives her a chance to stick because they got more places, you know.
And Megan can call up Caitlin Clark and thank her for all the money. So.
Yep. I saw where Caitlin Clark's going to make about $507,000 this year. And Paige Beckers is making $499,000, so Paige Beckers can thank her too. Did you guys realize that Paige Becker made more money than Caitlin did last year? Caitlin's second year and Paige Beckers made more money than she did because somebody published the 2025 what they made last year and what they're making this year. These guys are, you know, not that Caitlin needs the money because everybody knows that she's already a millionaire, but you know, it's nice to have a little steady income. Yeah. I think I put up the wrong picture. Okay, I put up the wrong picture of Chit Chat.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh! How did I do that?
What's our first subject?
Okay. Well, the first subject I want to touch on is we have a new guard. We have a new guard signed by Iowa, former teammate of Chit Chats from Georgia right now, but they both 2 years ago were at Georgia Tech together, and there was a picture floating around that I had saved to my computer. But when you're looking at little thumbnails, sometimes you put up the wrong pictures, which is what I did there. I wanted to show those two. There's a great action picture of those two together, playing together. And Timothy says, by the way, he says, "Let's go, Meg. I'm now a Portland fan." Good job. She was definitely a fan favorite when she was at Iowa.
Yeah. I believe she got married yesterday.
Did she get married? So she's no longer Megan Gustafson.
I seen a picture picture of her in a white silky dress yesterday with a bottle of champagne. So
Oh,
Good
okay.
for them.
Alrighty. I want to bring up because we did have a signing, and so far between the men and women, we only have the one woman signee so far. The women have a long way to go to get that roster filled up.
Yeah.
Now they're up
Yeah,
to
they
7 players for next year.
7 more to go.
Okay. I believe that this girl's coming to visit. Am I not right? This Reggett McCowan
tomorrow,
tomorrow. Okay.
Mhm.
What happened to? There's somebody else was supposed to be visiting this weekend too, and I
From
thought there was like 3
Rutherford?
people coming. One of them already committed before she even got here, which tells me
Brueggemann,
she got a big bag of money.
Brueggemann committed to Oklahoma State, but
Mhm.
she's from Choctaw, Oklahoma. You know, that might be pretty understandable. She's the one that was supposed to be here this weekend.
So here's another thing about Brueggemann at Cha. How do you say that? Darn it, I
Well,
can't think of where she's from in Oklahoma because I believe that is
Choctaw,
Carrie
Choctaw,
Underwood's hometown.
Choctaw.
I believe, yeah, I was gonna say Carrie Underwood. Chris Dopey says hi. We weren't gonna get into football talk until a little bit later, but anybody want to answer why Tony Diaz is not dressed? Is he injured?
Yes.
He just got a minor injury. Tom Kakert was the first one to report it yesterday. He just said he had a minor injury and will be out for the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it's very temporary. I'm sure it's a pulled muscle or something, you know. And then Brevin Dahl hurt an elbow today in practice. Tom Kakert said, and he'll be out, but he'll be back in a month's time or something.
Okay, so both of them will be there for the summer workouts.
And most, as we've said on podcasts before, Preston Reese has been out with a hamstring, and hopefully that's a short-term deal too. So,
Okay, Esterson, I don't know if I said your name right. Orientation State player was supposed to visit this weekend too. Oklahoma State, that's what he meant. Okay. Do we have a player from Oklahoma State that was coming?
Whiting's supposed to be here. Yeah, from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
She's supposed to come like tomorrow or something, I think.
Okay. Is she also a guard?
Can you look these people up, Rick, with a computer or not?
Sure, I can.
Like if we went over every one of these, like if we went back to the McGowan and you could tell people, oh, she's a good 3-point shooter.
Right, I can do that for you.
I think Whiting and her are both, you know, in that 5'9", 5'10".
Whiting's a 5'10" guard, junior.
Okay.
Senior?
From Early, Idaho.
So she's got 1 year left?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's okay. 3-point percentage. Last year she was 32.1.
Mm-hmm.
Year before she was 26%.
Mm-hmm.
And her freshman she was 31%. So she's around 29% average for 3 years.
No.
Okay. Tim says that
Good rebounder.
Amari Whiting from Oklahoma State is currently in Iowa City for her visit. Let's hope
Cool.
we can
She's
get
a good
her.
rebounder for a guard.
Yeah.
Also, about 5.5.
Yeah. We probably need, because I got flustered when the picture didn't show up. We should probably, I'm going to take her picture off right now. Well, hang on for a second.
Did you have any other stats you wanted to say about her, Rick? Or?
For her, just rebounding was her big thing.
I thought she was kind of like Stremlow, good at everything. Not as good a 3-point shooter, but you know, decent assists, decent rebounds.
Jack of all trades,
A good depth piece that we need.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. All right. Tim also says that Danny Carnegie is a first team all SEC player. She's ranked in the top 5 for the best portal players. She was ranked number 6 today. When I looked at the list, I have that list here. When I looked at the current list, but there was only 2 people on that list that were already signed, and somebody else went to Tennessee. I think from Ole Miss to Tennessee or Tennessee to Ole Miss. I can't remember which. But yeah, this is a good one. This is a great player.
Another quick point about Chit Chat and Danny. There was a third highly rated girl that left Georgia Tech at the same time, and she went to an SEC school, and she's in the portal.
Yeah,
and she's taller, maybe 6'1" or. Is her name Thompson or something? Chiana Thompson or something like that. Yeah. So we haven't heard anything, but with Lysandra Barrett, the way she's rocking it.
Yeah, I think that is definitely helping a lot. Okay, so those were the only 3 women pictures I have. I apologize because I can only get 10 up here, and I had to get some men up here too.
Right now.
Okay, let me say this real quick. Whiting is known for her defense and getting to the rim. He must have hit send before he finished typing. Tim.
Right now, there's 3 girls. There's McGowan and Whiting, which Rick should maybe we can talk about McGowan's stats. And the third
first name?
Reagan.
Okay.
And it's spelled RAE.
Okay.
But anyway, and the third gal has already visited, the hair gal from Iowa State, who's a tremendous 3-point shooter, and she was supposed to be at Michigan today visiting. So those are the 3 that we know. And Carnegie, of course. There's 4 that we know have visited or set to visit. So.
Okay.
So McGowan looks like she's basically a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we no longer chasing the girl from Evansville?
Yeah. She is from Lebanon, Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay.
McGowan's supposed to visit Missouri also.
She's a 5'11" guard.
What's her stats, Rick?
This last year, she was 23 minutes a game, 17 points, 6.5 rebounds.
And is she a junior, senior? What is she?
She's a junior.
Okay. So another person that won't take up a scholarship next year when we want to recruit. The girl we were asking about, Dean, while he was giving the stats, was Cameron Runner. And I haven't heard a darn word about where she's visiting or anything. Have you, Rick?
She disappeared on the face of the earth. Her name is gone from everything. It's like she went
her
back to her
name's
team.
Gone.
She just gone. Yeah, I mean, we can still search for her and stuff. There's nothing new for the last 7 days.
No, that might be good news, might be bad news. So,
So she may have committed to somewhere, but not ready to tell anybody yet.
I doubt that. She's probably in the same position that a lot of girls are in. She was a top transfer person at the start, the first week, and then all these other ones jumped in. So she's probably been pushed lower in the. It's like Addie Deal. She probably isn't as much demand for Addie Deal as there was the first day she goes in. So they got to wait and see, well, we got these other gals that's coming in for a visit. We can't offer you anything for sure yet.
Yeah.
That would be the way I was thinking it. Or she's a smart young lady. She doesn't have an agent that spreads all the news, and she just wants to do everything private.
That could be, yeah. Okay, Tim says again that Whiting is very capable 3-point shooter. Looking at her shooting form, I was very surprised that she's only 30% shooter. She can knock down the shots.
Well,
yeah, I think Whiting will shoot better at an offense where she's set up to shoot the 3 on a better team than Oklahoma State was.
Now there is some predictions. Speaking of Deal, there are some predictions out there that she's on her way to Wisconsin along with Tegan Mullaney. How true that is, I don't know. because neither one of them have officially said anything about visits or, you know. I'm actually surprised Deal hasn't gotten picked up yet, but you know,
She probably, it's probably her agency, which was the same one Callie had. That agency that Callie and Deal, I'm sure Callie took Deal's agency because she asked Deal, "Hey, who should I have?" You know, but that agency's got a kind of a poor reputation, and Deal's parents are probably also, you know, kind of screwing everything up. You know, oh, we got to have a starting spot guaranteed, and we need this much money. You know, so
somebody said, you know, by the way, in case anybody hadn't heard, my favorite girl, Callie Levine, is now a UNI Panther, or she will be after the end of the semester. So somebody said that she had and I can't believe this is true, because you know, coach should be promising people starting positions, but one of them was a guaranteed starting spot.
It's true. That's coming right out of from what I hear, it's, you know, on these message boards and everything, it's coming right out of the family saying that.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, but
by the way,
if something like that's being said, it's probably true, because it's kind of surprising. You know, that it surprises me. You know, I don't know about you, Dean, but it surprises me that but I think it's that darn agent she's got myself. But
yeah, I trust her dad. Her dad's a good lawyer, and he managed Callie's career up until now. And her dad's, I talk to her dad all the time behind the scenes and stuff, and he and I had a great conversation this morning, not about Callie, but other stuff. And he's a lawyer, and he's got his head screwed on straight. And he's definitely not Addie Deal's dad. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know why. You know, if you're going to Northern Iowa, I don't know why you'd even give part of your money away if you're getting any money. You know, well, I don't know if you and I might not have any money.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the way I think of it is Kelly can probably keep her Hills Bank ties, because she's only an hour and a half away from Iowa City. You know what I mean? And so that could still be local, unless there's some Hills Banks in Cedar Falls. But I'm actually kind of glad that she's in Cedar Falls.
What's her major?
I have no idea. But I'm just saying I was glad she's in Cedar Falls, because when I come back to Waterloo for my visit, as you guys know, Cedar Falls and Waterloo are practically one town. You don't know when you're in one town and in the other. But I might get a chance to watch her play basketball up close and personal when I'm back in town.
If you look on the Hawkeye, Miss Callie Levine on the Hawkeye University of Iowa will tell you what her major was, if she has a major. But anyway.
I like this one. Tim says, fun fact, and Rick, I'm surprised you didn't come up with this, because you're my Mr. Facts man. Iowa already added more points in the portal than they lost to the portal.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I said on the last podcast that the one good thing about all the players we lost, if you totaled them all up, Addie Deal was the only one that really added any stats.
Yeah.
And I said one player will make up all them stats. You know, the key thing is you got to make up for Hannah Stokey's rebounds and points and
but you guys think people like Johnson, I can't even remember her last name because she played so little I didn't get to hear her name much. Kanice. Do you think people like her, who practically rode the bench for 3 consecutive seasons now at Iowa and played very, very little, do you think people like her are going to have a hard time finding a new home?
No, go to UNI. Go to UNI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Kelly don't want her there. They're both guards.
Yeah. I think they need 4 guards like most college teams. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Iowa kind of does play a 4-guard offense, or at least a 3 and 2
Well,
forward.
even if you only play 2 guards, you need 4 of them.
Yeah,
you got to have
do.
backup. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So with Danny coming in, guys, did she take the off guard spot that Strimlo was playing this year, and Strimlo moved to the 3, or does Strimlo get to ride the bench and be a backup?
Carnegie keeps the ball in her hands.
Yeah.
You know, she's not the 3-point shooter that Chit Chat is, but she'll set up Chit Chat for a lot of 3-point shots. And
so are you saying that Carnegie might be our point guard and Chit Chat will go to the off guard? So Chit Chat can get free for a lot of 3-pointers?
And I'm sure we'll have 2 ball handlers out there, which two-headed beast and Carnegie's like getting Jelani Cambridge.
A little bit.
That's what her game is. Cambridge ain't no 38% 3-point shooter either, but she's a physical 5'9" point guard.
They're the same height, but Carney's a lot thicker.
Yeah.
She's very bulky.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm saying, you know, Cambridge first team All Big Ten, Carnegie first team SEC.
Yep.
You know, and it's pretty tough to get first team in the SEC. I know.
That's what I was thought. That was very impressive. Very impressive.
I didn't Google first team SEC. I don't know if they have 10, 12 players like the Big Ten does, or whether they just have 6 or 7. I have no clue. But boy, against big teams like against LSU, she just punished LSU this year. You know, LSU is a great defensive team.
I know. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to. Was she a 4-star or 5-star out of high school, or no star, 3-star, and just was really
4-star.
good?
Yeah, I seen she was originally born in New York, but moved to Georgia. I think it was Georgia, pretty young in her life.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna have to get this Timothy Williams on sometime too. He's got some great facts. Carnegie has always played in the off-ball guard row. At Georgia Tech, she played next to Tony Morgan and Chit Chat. At Georgia Trinity, Turner was their point guard.
Yeah.
I watched her play 2 games this year, once against Vanderbilt and somebody else. She was the dominant guard as far as handling the ball.
Carnegie?
Yeah, I was talking about what she did this year.
Yeah.
When they were at Georgia Tech, I'd never heard of them until.
I'm sorry, last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when they were at Georgia Tech, I never paid any attention to them because I never heard of Lysandra Barrett. I never heard of Chit Chat, right? Yeah. Until the portal opened.
Here's an interesting fact about Carnegie right now. She played her last game for Georgia at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Yep.
She will play her first game for Iowa at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Hopefully open at home, but she had a terrible. I looked up. Please, nobody read her stats from her last game because it was awful. So
when they lost to Virginia,
I don't want to hex her, but I don't know if she made a shot all game.
Well, Chit Chat and Carnegie they could laugh together that they both had their seasons ended by Virginia.
Whatever.
Okay. Timothy wants to, as long as we're still on women and we got a future Hawkeye, he would like to talk about McKenna.
Well, let's go. Yeah. I sent you her stats from last night.
I have it right here. 10 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 block shot. I believe there was a steal in there too that nobody posted.
Yeah, they said
in the Nike Hoop Summit game.
They said she set a record for rebounds in a game, and was it offensive rebounds?
Led the game for offensive rebounds, as well as assists.
But they said it was a record.
The rebound overall was a record, yeah.
Now she was like 5 for 9.
One supposed expert, put his, in an article. I can't remember who it was. The Athletic, I think it was, said that the top 3 players in the game were obvious. Is her name Jersey it's
There is a
either
Jersey,
Jazzy
yeah.
or Jersey,
There is a Jersey.
you know, and then the other
The
player,
USC girl? You talking about the
Yeah.
USC?
he's the number one player in the country.
Jazzy.
Okay.
David.
And then the girl, I don't know if her name was Hall or something, who's a great player. And then number 3 was Walitsko. And then they said, oh, and the 4th best player was Maddie Greenway. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people, including myself, wish we'd have got Maddie Greenway, but maybe there's a chance we get her sister. Somebody said her sister's better.
You'll be fine next year.
yeah, her
Girl from
sister,
Wisconsin.
her sister ain't better, but
Who's the girl from Wisconsin you getting next year?
Subert.
Yeah,
She,
she looks
it's
really
spelled
good.
like it's spelled Soybert. That's how you pronounce it.
It looks.
Yeah,
she
that's
looks
the
really
girl
good.
we got coming in. That's our lone recruit. Is
fine
she
there.
27 or is she coming in this year?
She's
27.
not coming in this year. Well,
Okay,
Litsko
27.
is our only
Yeah. So
person
what do you
in
guys?
this.
What do you guys think? Okay, Jan's got 7 players. She probably needs 5 more players to get to 12, maybe 6 to get to 13. Is she going to be able to get some quality players in or not?
If she can get 2 more quality players and then a bunch of bench role players just to whatever with, that's fine. I mean,
yeah,
she's not a deep bench person anyway.
Yeah.
She'll probably get 2 more players in the next 3 days, you know. And then a week from then she'll pluck a couple more. She said she'd be very very comfortable just having 10 or 11 players, because she says that usually that's all you play, but then what if a bunch of injuries happen?
Yeah. Okay, unless of course she only played 8 against Virginia and 2 of them didn't get hardly any minutes. So she basically played 6 against Virginia.
Or 5.5.
Other transportal news that doesn't have anything to do with Iowa. Audie Crooks is visiting Maryland. Jada Williams went to LSU. I don't know if we mentioned that already or not.
We have not.
Yeah. The Crump girl that visited Iowa out of the Chicago area. Thank God she didn't go to Illinois. I'm getting worried about Illinois getting all this talent all the time.
A lot right now.
Well, I got Divine Burridge yesterday. You know,
you have to tell me more about her.
She's Journey Houston's 5-star teammate. She's a great player. She went to LSU and didn't play very much at LSU, so she came back and anyway, she was like top 10 player, and
So
then
she did go to Illinois then.
But Crump was not from Illinois, but she was a girl that went to Clemson, then got out of her scholarship, and today I was going to tell you where she went, and now we talked about something, and I forgot. God darn it.
What's her name?
Duke. She went to Duke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She went from Texas to Duke. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So Wishbone wants to know, will Iowa reconstruct the offense for Cargany?
Why do we have to reconstruct the offense?
I don't think.
Well, because this year, I mean, we were more post-oriented in-out.
That's because we had 2 posts. Next year we have 1 post, Ava Hayden. And Walitsko, if you've watched her, she's not really a post. So most coaches, like I've said over and over again on this podcast, Jan and Lisa figure out who their top 5 players are, put them on the floor. Sometimes you got 4 guards. Sometimes you got 2 guards, a quick forward, a power forward, and a center. Sometimes you got, this year we had 2 post players. So you had to play a 2-post offense. Otherwise it wasn't going to work, you know?
Timothy says Trinity Jones was the one that left Clemson.
Okay.
Trinity, in case people, I'm sorry. I'm covering up the microphone when I'm not speaking so the music doesn't come through too bad.
I hope I'm not confusing Trump and Jones. And Jones. Is Crump the one that went to Duke today, Rick?
Yes, I believe you're correct.
Okay.
from either Texas or LSU, one of the two.
Yeah.
I
It's just sad.
hope Trinity Jones does not go to Illinois. They don't need to have 5 All-Americans. So.
Think about Jan, by the way. Her offense is very similar to WNBA offenses in that she has 2 bigs who can play inside, right? And she wants small guards around the perimeter who can either A, shoot the 3 or break down the defense in the last part of the shot clock.
Yeah. We need some 3-point shooters because we just didn't get the job done this year.
They couldn't break anybody down off the dribble either, really, other than chit chat and deal.
And they couldn't break down the dribble. And Carnegie can do this. They got a 3-point shooter, and they got a person who can break it down or find somebody who's open. I think they got a good one. I mean, I'm excited about this. I mean, this takes the sting off a losing deal.
Yeah, it does.
So
you have 3 guards, assuming that Stremlo is a guard and not a wing, or should I say small forward. Yeah. So you have Journey by herself at small forward right now. So you gotta get her small forward or a tweener of some kind, and another power forward / big. You have to have those 2 things going forward. You have to. Yeah. Playing the Big Ten, you're in trouble.
By the way, guys, I don't know if you can see it, but we got 45 viewers on right now.
Sitting close to 50.
Yeah, I think I'd like to know if some of those viewers are coming over from X, because ever since I started running this live on X, it seems like our viewership has picked up a lot.
I've told you, Dean, that with the upgrade in the men's basketball program, things explode. Tom Kakert has brought it up with their podcasts that, all of a sudden people last year that didn't really want to talk about a men's basketball game. Probably in the month of December this year, nobody wanted to talk about a men's basketball game, or they're complaining. Then you go to the Elite 8, and all of a sudden, my God, happy days are here again. Lute Olson's back, so that might help too.
Right now.
Yeah. Timothy says Danny was an amazing 3-point shooter. She shot 35% on 8 threes per game last year. That is great. I love to hear that.
And her last game against Virginia, she had 3 shots she made. Over 7 from 3 and 3 for 13 overall.
I knew it was 0 for 7 from 3, but I didn't want you to repeat that.
What you got out of her way? The bag came out of her way finally.
Okay,
it was too hot in there, Rick.
Yep, it was. It was crazy.
It was 88 degrees. So
before we move on to the men's portals talk, do you guys have anything, last comments you want to talk about the women at all?
I see a lot of people are nervous about Jan, and online I see a lot of it. People are, she can coach, obviously. She made 27 wins, right? So coaching's not a problem. It's can she retain the talent, right? Well, you got to retain your core 6.
Yeah. The thing I wanted to point out to people before they start jumping all over Jan is that she took a young team with only
a rebuilding year,
where most of the starters were sophomores, or and played some freshmen and stuff a lot. That she took them to 27 wins. Granted, they fell short of their goal of the Sweet 16. I mean, we're all disappointed in that.
It happens.
Yeah, Timothy did say that she missed a lot of shots that she would in the Virginia game that she would have normally made.
Yeah,
that happens.
Everybody did that day.
Strimlo, when we played Virginia, was way off her mark. And
the game before too, though. The holiday.
There's no doubt they struggled the game before too, and the game before that was their UCLA loss where they got beat by 50. I wonder if they were still feeling the sting from that loss.
I said last podcast, the best thing that happens to a freshman is they become a sophomore. The best thing about a sophomore is they become a junior. I don't know, but chit chat, right? Like led the nation almost in 3-point shooting.
I believe she was number 2.
Yeah, and as a freshman at Georgia Tech, maybe she took a jump this year. you know, in 3-point shooting. I'm not sure, but anyway.
Well, she
Gotta
didn't
get Tim
start at
Cat to
Georgia
shoot
Tech
more.
until the tournament.
Well, neither her or Carnegie, neither Carnegie. I looked at their stats. You know, they weren't like just plugged in as starters. You know, maybe that's why that coach retired. She lost it, or maybe she had a great lineup of players. I don't know, but
could have. So, well, guys, we're gonna segue into the men. I'm gonna pull this picture up. I hear that this guy's very interested in Iowa. What are Iowa's chances of getting the 7'2" guy?
I messaged you today that Kakert said he is very confident that it's looking very good. He's on campus right now, so
How agile is he?
Might be a birthday present for Ben McCollum. You can look up his stats, Rick.
Yeah, if you could, Rick, give us some stats and stuff on him.
He's just very tall, like 6'7", I think.
Yeah,
I don't have his name listed here. What's
McKeever.
his name? McKeever?
What's his first name?
I don't know. Just put in McKeever, St. Mary's or Santa Clara. Yeah.
Andrew McKeever. St. Mary's Gales. 7'2", 285 pounds. He's 285.
Yeah.
Holy crap. You know, look at. Yeah. All right, stats. Here we go.
You're welcome, Todd. I see you figured out how to comment during the show. Thank you. You're on now.
This past year,
you're official.
Go ahead, Rick.
Game, 9 rebounds a game, 8 points a game, 50% shooting, 62 from the free throw line, no 3-pointers at all. Assists 1.8, blocks 0.8, steals 0.5, turnovers 1.7.
How many minutes a game did he play?
23.2.
So half a game about?
Yeah. So my question is he agile? Can he move?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
A big part of Ben's team is being able to move without the ball.
Everybody's arguing about these 3 big guys that we're supposedly kind of down to, which I don't think we're down to anything. The portal's only been open for a week, you know, and there's a bunch of players in Europe that nobody's even talking about, right? But everybody's arguing about which ones of the 3 do we want. I think I'm just going to lean on Ben McCollum.
Yeah,
Ben will pick it.
I hope he gets
Besides, this guy's probably not a $3 or $4 million center.
Oh, I think they bought all our team.
Huh?
I think if you're 7 foot tall, you at a minimum get $2 million. You know, but with Alvaro leaving, maybe they take 2 big guys. So that's my thinking. But a point guard and 2 big guys.
He'd be a good get if he can move without the ball.
He can move.
Sure, bring him.
Do you have another next big guy, Dean, or?
I don't know who's who here. Here's another guy we brought up.
Oh, he's a guard.
This is the Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need a point guard, guys. Can this guy play at point?
He's visiting Vandy as we speak, I believe. Is that it? Is it Vandy?
Say.
I don't know.
But here's my thought. Kale Combs didn't play bad at the end of the season, by the way. He played quite well going into the end of the season.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want him to start next year, but if he had to in a pinch, I wouldn't freak out.
Yeah, I think if Ben doesn't if he just gets a 1-year guard in here that can play both of them or one of them, whatever. Ben has a bunch of 20, 27 point guards who are tops in the nation. And I think that's who he wants
and I would prefer that myself.
That kid there that you just showed, he's a guy that will drive and get fouled. Good 3-point shooter, I think. Was his stats on that picture or?
Yeah, they were.
Did you get some stats there, bud?
They were on.
Hey, while we're talking about this, Wishbone wants to know, while you're looking that up, he said, so Lisa and Jan structured the offense. What about
What was his last name?
I Was it Riley? Dean, can you put that picture back up?
I need to see what I'm looking up here.
You need to help
Sorry.
Rick out a little bit. What was that? What was the last thing? Oh, did it say, what about Abby?
Yes.
Yeah. What about Abby's structure in the offense? Abby Stamp, I'm assuming.
She coaches the guards. I don't know. Did you guys think guard play wasn't good this year or something?
For the men or who?
For the women, Abby Stamp, she's the daughter-in-law of my old high school football coach.
Okay, so this guy's name is,
All right. So
I can't read it. It's
Kylan
upward.
Riley.
Yeah.
All right. So last year, he played 38 games, averaged 27.7 minutes, shot 44.8 from overall from field, 38.9 from three. That is pretty good. 87.1 free throw, 3.9 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 15 points a game, 2.6 turnovers, but not horrible.
I think he's the one that's on a visit to Vandy right now, and his Mark Cuban's probably talking to him. But
Yeah, well, Mark Cuban talks to you. How can you tell Mark Cuban no?
well, it depends on how much you love Ben McCollum.
Okay, here's the next one that you gave me a picture for today.
Yep.
Is this what position is he?
He's a center. He's not as tall at 6'10", I think. Rick will look him up.
Yep,
He's not as tall as that 7'2" guy, but his wingspan is so long that he actually gets up higher than the 7'2" guy. And he's in Iowa City both of them are in Iowa City right now on Ben McCollum's birthday.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
happy birthday, Ben.
Those two are looking at each other like, okay, which one's going to commit? Which one of you is going to commit?
It might be both of them. Do you have any stats there, Rick?
Yeah, he's 6'9", 230. Last year, 21.8 minutes, shot 68% from the overall, 20% from three, so whatever. But 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 10.7 points a game.
Is he the one that can't hit a free throw at all?
Yes.
Okay.
47.
And then how many blocks?
1.3 a game.
And how many minutes did he play?
21.8.
So he's getting almost 3 blocks per game. Yeah, he's more of the shot blocker type guy.
Hey, Dean.
Yes.
Are you ready for this? Free throw percentage?
Don't tell him.
43.
How bad is it? How much?
43.6.
Oh my God, that's bad. That's
but
bad.
again, you got to ask yourself, how many free throws did he shoot? You know?
Well, I can find out.
Okay, I'll take Cam's like 60% or whatever he was shooting.
But Cam needs help, and what year is this guy, Rick?
He'll be a junior coming in.
Oh, so he gives you an extra year.
Yep,
I think both them big guys are going to be juniors. I think.
Question for you guys: what are your thoughts on that play 5 in 5 years?
What?
What are your thoughts on that play 5 in 5 years?
Okay, they can play 5 full years now.
That's a Kirk Ferentz rule. They haven't totally passed it, but they're really close to passing it.
Yeah.
Kirk Ferentz has wanted that for 30 years.
Yeah, but they either have to be age 19 or a graduate to start that 5-year clock. If they're older than that, they have to leave.
Yeah. There's some bad news to that, because Iowa's had some people that, like Torrey Taylor, could have played 1 year at Iowa because he was 23 or something when he came in.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was just going to say a lot of the foreign players would be too old for this. Like Illinois might have to get rid of all their players.
I think they should just go with 5 years. Period. You got 5 years to play.
Okay. All right.
Especially in football when they got the scholarship, the roster cut down so much.
Yeah.
It's hard to field a football team and have a scout team. anymore.
Okay, those are looks like I got a couple more here. I got one more recruit I was able to put up.
There's the third big guy from Louisville.
Sanada.
He's the most active one of the bunch.
Fruit?
Okay. All right.
He's from Dean will hate him because he played in Germany in a pro league a year or two. So.
Berlin, Germany.
Not if he plays for Iowa, then I'll cheer him.
I know.
6'11", 250.
Yep.
Okay.
And what's his stats? What's his
Holy
stats
shit.
look like?
Sorry. Okay, so last year, 22 minutes a game he played. His field goal percentage was 75.3.
All he does is dunk, I think.
Well, hang on. He shot 50% from 3. How many he shot, I don't know. It doesn't say that.
Probably 2.
But
do you know why he's leaving Louisville?
No.
Louisville signed the top 2 post players out of the portal, so
he didn't want to fight for playing time.
Makes sense.
well,
He just assumed he
they
was
probably
gone.
didn't. They probably didn't want to pay him another year. If you get the top 2 posts out of the portal, there goes $10 million.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna have you guys talk about this next question real quick while I use the restroom here.
And we might go over Frew a little bit more. I don't even know. Does he have 2 years left, Rick? Or
he has 3 years left.
Okay.
Well, no. He's played 1 year in the States, but he's classified as a junior.
Maybe.
So they have ESPN listed as a junior. That's all it says.
Okay.
1 year of actual playing time.
Can you read this this question that Dean is wanting us to discuss? Because I can't.
How much will Jirac push for a starting spot next year?
I don't think he will, but.
And why is that? Out of curiosity.
Well, it depends if Tavian Banks is back, but I would literally believe that Cam Manyow, one of your best defensive players, just like Cale Combs, is not losing his starting spot.
Right.
And you got Trey Thompson and Tate Sage and Cooper Koch and Ethan Harris and this Kuhn guy coming in. I would expect
my granddaughter just walked in.
Okay. I would expect Urach to be much improved, but I wouldn't expect him to start.
Would you expect 15 minutes a game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, depending on who we get out of the portal, right?
But based on last year what you saw, would you think that possible?
Oh, he didn't impress you a lot. He'll be like, I think he'll be the men's. He was a skilled guy,
right?
But just needed to work on his footwork. He's the men's version of Layla Hayes. I think Layla Hayes is going to be a great player because that's what Jan says, and Jan should know. You know, best post prospect I've ever worked with.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and Jirac, I think it plays a lot like she did. Kind of lost at times, kind of bumble around, but I think he has more skills than Layla did as far as shooting 3-pointers and free throws and stuff like that.
I think Tate Sage will go push more for a starting spot than Urach. Urach will probably just get a lot more minutes and be more improved because when he was on the floor this year, he actually did show a lot of potential.
I would actually with Ben's offense, where he doesn't have a point guard setting everything up on all them plays. They're all bait and switches is what he does. You know, they're bait and switches. He said Urach could be a guy that's my instigator. You know, I expect Tate Sage to play a lot of off guard because he's a great athlete, great shooter. You know, he ain't no power forward. You know, and Cooper Koch, good God, Let him play out on the perimeter and do not guard 7'1" guys from Bosnia that's playing for Illinois. You know, well, it just isn't. It isn't fair. It's like I don't know how tall Rick is. It's like I'm 5'9". If you're 6'2", I shouldn't be guarding you down the post.
True.
So
hey, I'm 5'5". Can I guard somebody out there?
I'm just under.
Can I try to guard a 7'2" guy?
Chit chat, but only down in the post.
Yeah. Chit chat would eat me for lunch.
Oh, there's the old thing that chit chat would break your ankles. She'd also break your artificial knee.
Yes, she would.
Yes, she would. She is quick. So.
Yeah. My God, guys, we're up to 64 viewers right now. This is amazing. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Did we mention on air my new shirt?
Yes.
No, why don't you mention it
again?
Yeah, this people.
If you don't have
if you don't have a lot of money, the last 3 podcasts I've debuted a new shirt. You know, I bought a Chit Chat shirt. I bought a Journey Houston shirt, and now they just came out this week, and I got it. The Velichko shirt. Was it say? Hard to pronounce, but harder to guard. Is that what it says?
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hard to say.
Hard to say?
Yeah, okay. Hard to say, harder to guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
last was what?
Like I was going to say, if you can't afford to send Swarm $150 or something, go to the nil store and spend $24 and maybe McKenna gets 8 of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping. So.
I'm watching my granddaughter and her friends
any
over
news
here at
on
Starbucks.
men's portal transfers?
What's that?
What?
It says any news on men's portal transfers.
Well,
Yeah,
we haven't done the guard yet, or there's one small one power forward type guy too. I think his name was.
I don't have any pictures of anybody else, so if you guys want to bring up those names.
Can you put in Becker from East Tennessee State, Rick?
That was the last one I think you sent me. Was that one?
Barkley?
No, he's a 6'8".
Yeah, is his last name Barkley or something?
Barkley, there you go. You're so smart.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, he's Charles Barkley's grandson.
Yeah, is he really? All right, Blake Barkley. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoa! What happened here? I didn't go there. What? All right.
Breaking news. Wisconsin has lost their athletic director.
Really?
Oh, good. I mean, he didn't die. They fired him.
Well, hang on. I got to get to the unexpected.
Ex-offensive lineman.
Yeah. Wisconsin will need a new athletic director. Current AD Chris McIntosh is moving to the front office role of the Big Ten offices.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, yeah. This Barkley guy, I saw him about 5 days ago before whatever. And he's how tall? Like 6'8", probably. So yeah, 6'8", 220. He's very solidly built. He can jump. He can run. He can shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He's what? He played 32 games, averaged 28.6 minutes as a sophomore.
Yep.
Field goal percentage 58.9 for overall, 38.3 from 3, 84% from free throw line, 5.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and just under a steal per game.
I think Iowa started get after him when they knew they weren't gonna pay Alvaro a bunch of money.
This guy fits the bill. What I saw of him.
Yeah. And I think if I'm right, I think his first year he played at Northwestern for Collins, and then he had 1 year at East Tennessee State.
Right. Yeah. And he barely played. In fact, he played 4 games for Northwestern.
So he probably redshirted that year.
He could have redshirted. But it says he's a sophomore. That's just a pure sophomore.
Well, I don't. That's like people kept saying on On3 all the time that Kenise Johnson was a junior this year, and I go, no, she wasn't.
It's until she applies for the hardship.
Yeah, the medicals. She got a medical because she didn't play a single second last year. You
Yeah,
know,
she's been with the team for 3 years, and
It's probably
She
played
told-
she probably has played a total of 5 or 6 games total
maybe a full
over that
game her
time.
entire career.
well, her first, but if she hurt her knee her first year, it was like late in the season, like February or something.
Okay.
And it was an ACL. And this year, her knee still wasn't right.
Yeah.
You know.
Here's a picture of Danny Carnegie and Chit Chat playing at Georgia Tech during their freshman year in the game together at the same time.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's the only way I could do it.
Mhm.
All righty.
I'm
So
sure, I'm sure
who
glad
else
they're
are we
back.
looking at?
I'm sure glad they're back together. The other point guards are the one that is the highest rated is that Ace Glass from Washington State. But and he was thought to come to Iowa and really commit maybe this weekend or something. But a lot of other schools are starting to throw money at him. Can you look him up?
Yeah,
Rick?
right now.
Ace Glass the third.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid player. He's classified as a freshman, so he's one year far. Played 32 games, averaged 28.8 minutes, 45.5 overall from the field, 36.4 from three, 88.2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, and just under a steal a game. 60.4 points.
Is your mom outside waiting on you?
He does.
Okay.
Hey,
Mute yourself. What's that?
hey, Dean,
Yeah.
you weren't muted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Anyway, he does everything. And
Yes.
if he takes a jump from his freshman to sophomore year, what's his 3-point shooting going to go from 38 to 45?
Well,
Is his free throw percentage going to go from 84 to 92?
points 16 to 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player, it looks like.
And I think if I remember right, he was from a famous school like where Raymond Ochoa was from.
Rancho Cucamonga.
What?
He's from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah, I thought he was from New Mexico.
All right, so his career highs, out of curiosity, in points is 29.
I thought Rancho Cucamonga is in California.
What'd you say,
right.
Rick?
He scored 40 in a game this year.
Yeah, he's from California. That's where he's from.
He lost to Arizona. He lost to Arizona State 194, and he scored 40 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
yeah,
Let's Go Hawk says, I heard that 7'3" center was visiting today. Isn't he just 7'2"?
Both of them. Both of them are.
Yeah, there's 2 of them visiting today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe we'll hear commitment from 2 of them tomorrow, and then we can start having a tall team.
Did you have any of the pictures of the guards, Dean?
Nope.
Okay.
I can only put up 10 pictures. We've shown all 10 tonight. I just kind of picked and choose who to put up.
Yeah. Who's the other guard? The guard that's visiting Auburn. What the? He's got a first name like Lyon or something, Lyen or something. He's really good. And the other point guard's that guy that with the long hair that Dean thought was a girl last time.
Oh yeah, from Butler.
From Butler.
The Butler guy, yeah.
I don't know if I want him from Butler though.
And they're putting off him. He's like a later resort guy.
Yeah.
And then I sent Dean, the kid from the Chicago area that was a freshman this year. I sent that late in the messenger thing. And I think we talked about him already because I said DePaul's one of his schools, and that's I think he put up his picture earlier.
Yeah. So the last one you sent me was the Iowa State guy that jumped into the portal.
Well, that's the one Rick sent you. He went in the portal and
He's going
the
to pro.
NBA draft.
Yeah, funny. Transferring to the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you
Well,
did
he's
talk
in it.
about Coleman already, right? You talked about Tyreek Coleman.
No.
That's the kid from Chicago.
Yeah.
Area. He's from Illinois State. And
What
I
are
made
they-
the comment.
Yeah.
I made the comment that DePaul was after him, and
Mhm.
there's like 3 or 4 other schools. And I said, I hope he's just like Cooper Koch. It comes down to Koch was going to go to DePaul last year after Fran left, and DePaul has some good NIL money because they're just a basketball school. They're not a football school. And
By the way,
Ben talked him into coming, and I'm sure glad Cooper Koch come to Iowa.
no, wait a minute though, guys. Here's something I want to throw out there. I heard Cooper Koch's interview. Was it on the Washed Up Walk-Ons, I think,
No,
or the Vandenbergs? I think maybe it was on there.
it was on Randazzo.
Okay. Didn't he admit that he had conversations with Ben while Ben was still coaching Drake in the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That
the
probably
teams
wasn't
do
even
that.
legal at the time.
Well, if Fran had left,
Mhm.
when your Fran had left, you don't have to wait for the portal to leave. You're automatically in the portal if you want to be. So no, it wasn't illegal.
Okay. So this
But
Coleman
anyway,
kid,
coaches and agents talk to each other during the season before the portal ever opens for months.
Okay.
So,
all right, let's get back to this Coleman guy. Okay. This
He can shoot
Tyreek
the
Coleman. What are the odds that we're going to actually see his visit next weekend when he's at K-State today and tomorrow, Nebraska Tuesday and Wednesday, Utah State Thursday and Friday, all those schools before us? Because, we already saw that Bergerman she didn't wait to get to her Iowa visit. She jumped all over that Oklahoma State offer.
well, that's good. She went home.
Yeah.
Nebraska would scare me because they're losing Hoiberg's boy, and they need a smaller guard like that probably. But
Yeah.
But again, this guy here and the guy with the long hair, they're guys that Ben's talking to, in case we don't get Mr. Ace Glass the Third. We'll be calling him AG3. His whole career, and the women's basketball team will be led by the Carnegie Institute of Basketball now.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So,
I love it. We're gonna have to come up with some new names next year. Okay.
Well, I know that's what Carnegie's T-shirt's gonna say. I've been spreading it all over Facebook already. You know damn well Reagan's gonna grab a hold. Ray Gun T-shirt company's gonna run with it and say the Carnegie Institute of Basketball, located in Iowa City.
Yeah. By the way, Ray Gun is in Iowa City, but not under that name, under a different name.
When I order an NIL T-shirt, it goes to the Ray Gun T-shirt company, RAYGUN, Reagan.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I know. Okay. Alrighty. So, guys, should we segue into a little bit of football talk? Okay.
Okay.
I want to say that here's our backup plan because we lost the guy who we thought we had for quarterback.
Hello?
Dean freeze up, did he, Rick?
Yep, he's solid. He ain't going
Okay,
nowhere.
well, we'll go on with it. Mr. Nayrot committed to Kentucky today.
Right.
He visited Kentucky and Oregon twice, each one of them twice in about a week and a half time. And it became pretty obvious that he probably was up front with the Iowa coaches and everything. So Iowa offered this Tennessee quarterback, who actually wasn't even the starter at his high school last year. That's why his stats are only 1,100 yards passing, 300 yards rushing. But he's kind of like Gronk. He's a physical running and passing quarterback.
Okay. See, that's why that's what I was for Iowa as quarterbacks. I mean, Brad
I just
Banks,
want
Drew
Yeah.
Tate, CJ Beathard, Gronowski. Those are probably your 4 best teams, really, and they all had mobile quarterbacks, guys who didn't have to run, but they could run.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa, you can't. This stationary quarterback shit got to go. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you got the best line in the world,
unless he's Peyton Manning.
yeah, or
Yeah.
Tom Brady,
or Tom Brady or something.
get the ball in the second and a half, sure.
Tom Brady would have been very breakable if he ran the Iowa offense last year all the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's a Gronk type guy.
Good.
And anyway, the reason Nayrod, it turned out, he kept saying when they'd interview him, "Oh, I love the Hawkeyes," because he grew up a Hawkeye fan. But Lester ran the NFL offense, the what do you call it? It ain't the West Coast offense. What's it called?
Shanahan.
The Shanahan offense. Thank you for helping an old guy that had chemo brain.
Yeah.
Anyway, he kept saying, our high school runs the Oregon offense. So 3 of his top 5 teams he had left were Northwestern, which has Chip Kelly as the OC.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they hired Chip Kelly, and their quarterback coach is that new Heisel that coached UCLA.
Wow.
The thing that people don't think about is they think Northwestern's the smallest school in the Big Ten, and they're a private school. They have more money than anybody else.
Oh, yeah. Their alum is rich as hell, probably.
Yeah.
All smart as shit, got good jobs.
They're all big business guys.
Yep.
And everything. Anyway, and then his 3 teams other than Iowa that he really was down to is Northwestern. He also had Oklahoma State in there, but because that guy threw the ball a lot. He was from North Texas. And anyway, the other team, of course, was Oregon, which runs an Oregon offense. And then he goes to Kentucky that has the former offensive coordinator last year from Oregon, or he used to be at Oregon. What's his name? Golatch or something?
So good fit for him.
So that was what he loved. And he made the comment one time on 3 when he was visiting Oregon. He'd say, "That's my high school offense."
Yeah.
They didn't run the Shanahan offense. You know, he was in an offense where he was like last year, what do you have? 41 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Kind of air raid offense.
I don't know that.
Just cut the hell out of it.
I don't know if it's termed the same as the air raid or not. Jason would know.
Run and shoot, chuck and duck.
Yeah, Oregon used to be a fast-paced offense. They'd run to the line of scrimmage, no huddle. Yeah. And then the Oregon coach made the comment this year that, we don't run to the line of scrimmage anymore because we get killed in the Big Ten.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, our guys can't take that many repetition plays against physical defenses. So coaches change. But anyway, Nayrod, we lost him today. And that guy, he's from Tennessee. We're recruiting him as a replacement. It's like last year we lost Cash Herrera.
Yeah.
The California quarterback who ended up flipping over to Indiana, and then he never even went to Indiana. But thank God he flipped over to Indiana, because then we got Mr. Bessinger, the number 8 quarterback in the country or something. And
okay.
The other recruit we lost, which I had predicted we were going to get Nayrod and we were going to get Bloom.
Okay.
Bloom, was he from Woodbine, Iowa or something? I think so.
I remember you talked about that town before. I know that much.
I think he's from Woodbine, Debbie Esser's old school.
Southwest Iowa.
But anyway, he was like Vanderzee. He's kind of in between a tight end and a wide receiver in high school. And he thought he was a tight end, and Iowa told him, "No, you're not a tight end, you're a wide receiver in the NFL."
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to go to Iowa State. That was his school. And when Campbell left, when Campbell left, all of a sudden Bloom jumped out. He told everybody, "I'm going to go to Iowa." But then Penn State kept recruiting him, and he's going to go all the way to Penn State. So we lost him today. So
It's not surprising though.
Not today, but a few days ago. What'd you say, Rick?
It's not surprising though that he's going to Penn State.
It kind of surprised me a little bit, but
Really?
I don't.
Campbell.
I just knew that he loved his visit at Iowa, and he loved talking to Lester and Bud Meyer and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe it'll be like that Brewer kid that nobody thought we were going to get last year. And he's a tight end at Iowa now. He reclassified, like Trey Thompson did. Did you go any football news you want to cover, Rick? I have
questions for you.
What?
I have questions for you. So,
shit.
Hecklinski. First off, how big is he?
He's taller than Pavia, but not much. He's like 5'10".
And what's he weigh? 200 pounds even?
He used to weigh like 177, but I haven't seen an updated. He's not a big guy, but he's very active, buys time in the pocket. His one problem I see in practice, which he's my favorite quarterback.
Okay.
In my dreams, because I've never seen him play. I've seen him play a few plays for Iowa last year. Big deal. I don't prove nothing. And I've seen a few practice plays. But the one thing I don't like about him is his height. Because when he throws over the middle in most of these plays that they keep showing from practice, because he's got to throw it over the line and he's short, all of his middle passes are high.
Yeah.
And they either lead to interceptions or some poor guy's got to jump up and catch it. The pass, them quick passes over the middle, you want them right at the number height or lower, where only the receiver can catch it, or if you hit him in the numbers, he can turn it upfield. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to have to jump up with one hand and get their head knocked off, by Bobby Sanders.
Interesting.
But that's my view of Hecklinski. He's my favorite quarterback, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go by practice film and a few plays I've seen. I'm going to go with what the new quarterback coach, Tim Lester, and the old coach, Kirk Ferentz. I think I made the prediction this week online that, some guy was messengering me, telling me that Hank Brown was no good and all this shit. And he said, what's your opinion? I go, I don't know. And he goes, no, I want to know your opinion. And I go, I have no idea because I don't see him play. But I did have one prediction for him. I said, there's probably a 50% chance that the person that starts the first couple games for Iowa, by the fourth or fifth game, you'll have a different quarterback starting, whether it's because of injury or they think the second guy's better.
Okay.
Thank you guys for carrying me while I tried to get back in. Lost the internet here.
So the next question for you.
Rick has some questions he's asking. Go ahead, Rick.
Brown. Tell me about Hank Brown. Why do I want him as a starter if I was an Iowa fan?
He's a prototypical pro quarterback, big guy.
Is he a statue or does he move?
No, he's actually faster. As far as straight ahead speed, he's faster.
Strider. Okay.
He's a great athlete. He's got very quick feet, and he's faster, like running a 20-yard dash than Hecklinski or even I think Gronk said, hell, he's faster than I am. Great athlete. But I don't know how great a quarterback he is. He does throw the ball over the middle. I've seen him throw a couple interceptions.
Is he better at the middle passes?
I've seen him over the middle. I think he's better over the middle just because he's taller and everything. But I've seen him throw a couple interceptions to the great one, Cam Buffington, early in the season in practice.
Yeah.
But he doesn't throw the ball too high over the middle. They're all on the right level. But I have no idea. I put up a page for Dean to read of a local high school coach who was at Durant. They're about one of the few people, unless you're an insider at Iowa, like Donnie Patterson or Clark or Jennings Dunker, or ex-players or ex-coaches. High school coaches can ask Kirk if they want to come in and see how he coaches. Anyway, this guy that used to coach at Durant was there, and he put up his little scouting report. Now, he said Hank Brown, the day he was there, which was just yesterday or the day before, was by far the best quarterback.
And he took the first snaps too.
Yeah, and he did Hank took the first snaps the day before when media was there too. When Chad and Kakert was there, they said, Hank ran with the ones, but that don't mean nothing.
It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything in April.
I want to know when we go to play at Michigan, who's the starting, who's the two deep then? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so
I won't know
question then. So God forbid those guys got hurt. Who's third string?
Right now, it's either Jimmy Sullivan, Addie Deal's boyfriend, or it's the walk-on Fitzgerald. And the players, they interviewed them a few days ago. I had heard in December at bowl practice that Fitzgerald had jumped ahead of Sullivan a little bit.
Interesting.
And then some of the players commented. Somebody asked, well, what about Jimmy Sullivan, the number 3 quarterback? And they said, oh, he looks good and everything, and said he throws a good ball. And then they go, but actually, I wouldn't say he's ahead of Fitzgerald like that. Nobody talks about Fitzgerald because he's a walk-on. But he's another guy that's like Gronowski, powerfully built. Jimmy Sullivan's very slight. He's like, I don't know if he's 6 foot tall, but when he come to Iowa, he weighed 170 pounds.
Really?
But he's a good athlete. Probably might be the best combination runner passer of the bunch. But like I said, I don't know anything about him. I'm just saying what players say in their interviews.
Sure. That's So here's the next question.
That guy did comment, gotta hope Fitzgerald doesn't leave Iowa. Yeah. That's what he said, So I don't know.
Okay, Dean, here's a question for you. What are your thoughts about Wisconsin passing that law where they give $14 million to NIL?
I wish Iowa would pass a similar law.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, let's face it.
Iowa
needs that law.
Yeah, but Iowa's close to it, but the only school that's supposed to be getting it's Iowa State. I say screw that law. So
really? Iowa State, huh?
Yeah, the big donor Bloom and Pollard, the AD, they're telling Kim Reynolds, who's the governor of Iowa, and she's an Iowa State fan, that they need a bailout from the state.
Really?
It's public record.
Wow.
But anyway, we better us Hawkeye taxpayers, which I'm in Illinois. Yeah, we really need to bail out the opponent.
Yeah.
Oh, you live in the Illinois side of the Quad Cities?
Yeah, Rock Island. There is no Rock Island, Iowa.
No, I didn't know that you lived in Rock Island. I thought it was Bettendorf or something.
Nope, I'm in Rock Island.
Interesting.
Home of the free and the brave. So I live in the vortex.
Okay. So now back to football. Receivers. You obviously have Vanderzee. Yeah, the other guy who's a big guy. Is Dustin something, or is it Dustin?
There's Diaz. Are you talking about returning?
Yes.
Dean, help me with that name again. I keep calling him Watson. He's from Kansas.
That's that guy. Who is he?
What's his last name? He's 6'5", 215, fast, great hands, never drops anything. Made the big catch against Rutgers that won the game. I keep calling him Watson for some reason. His last name is not Jalen. He's not Jalen Watson. Well, shit, I got my damn roster right in front of me.
There you go.
There you go. Howard.
Okay.
Dayton Howard.
Dayton Howard.
And
Dayton, not Dustin, but Dayton. Okay.
we got three great big wide receivers that are all juniors. Vanderzee, Bowie, and Howard. Bowie is healthy, looking good in practice. Those are three big guys. If you want to run the ball, they'll pancake cornerbacks. You can actually have three wide receivers out there on short yardage. Because
who's playing the slot?
actually those three wide receivers are probably better blockers than any of our tight ends have shown so far.
Really?
Our tight ends are not the best.
I know.
Ostrenga's a pretty good blocker, but we don't know how his Achilles tendon is.
Oh, Large is gone, isn't he? Large is leaving. Hayden Large, he's leaving, right?
Yeah, he's the best blocker. He'll make an NFL lineup. And then, sophomores, we have KJ Parker and the Boogeyman, and Evan James is another portal.
And who plays the slot? Parker?
Diaz has been playing slot.
Really? Okay.
Diaz ain't that big. I don't know why people, because his name's Bogeyman, they think he's some overriding physical
I thought it was
specimen.
Boogeyman. I thought it was Boogeyman.
What was it?
I call in our house at night. It was always the Bogeyman. But anyway, probably because I was a golfer. I don't know. But
Bogey. They spelled different. Bogey with one O, Boogie with two O's.
Diaz is 5'11", 170 pounds.
Wow.
That's how big he is. But he makes every catch. And they said he's the twitchiest wide receiver we've probably ever had. Which I don't know if that means. I don't know if that means he's not a blazing speed guy, but he's twitchy. Yeah. I'd rather have twitchy like Jerry Rice, though.
Okay, explain to me the difference between a slot receiver, a wide receiver, an X receiver.
Slot's what Wet Jet played. Lines up in the
2-3 yards.
Yeah, they kind of run they might get the jet sweeps. That's just where they're lined up.
Curls.
So
I like a wide receiver like Randy Moss that you could line him up in any of the positions.
Yeah. But I mean, if Diaz is more like a slot receiver, then he's got to be pretty fast, then, right?
Yeah.
He's what?
I think so.
Pretty fast. If he's a slot receiver,
he's got to be quick.
Well, he's got
to change direction.
Like
quickly.
I just said, he's twitchy.
And be sudden. Boom, he's gone. What?
Twitchy.
Yeah. Boogie. Is that his nickname? Is Diaz's name is Boogeyman?
Yeah.
I wondered who that they were talking about.
None of the coaches. That's all the media. The media, and that was his name where it came from. At Grand Valley. It wasn't Grand Valley State. It was at whatever it was called. And that was his nickname down there, but nobody at Iowa calls him that. They all call him TD. So
TD.
All right. That's what so compared to Brian Ferentz' last year, how much better are the receivers now?
Well, they were a lot better. They were a lot better last year. Well, Brian Ferentz had 1 year there where he had no offensive line,
right,
and he had no receiver
and no quarterback.
And no quarterback.
We came out with a first year wide receiver. You guys ought to remember him, the great baseball player Brody Breck, who didn't even know the plays. A freshman wide receiver, and the other wide receivers were Eichmann and a couple walk-ons. That's how bad it had gotten. We had some wide receivers that were injured that year.
Yes,
and we had no offensive line, and Petrus would go back, and you're supposed to go 1001, 1002, 1003 and pass the ball. He'd go back and he'd go 1001, boom.
Yeah.
Get hit.
Yeah.
And then people say, "What's wrong with the OC?"
Yeah. But I mean, wasn't the year we had Brody Breck? Didn't we also have that Johnson wide receiver that didn't work out? And
I think that was the year that he had the soft tissue all year.
Yeah, and then there was can't think of the one he got caught gambling and ruined. Yeah,
Arlen Bruce.
Yeah.
And we had the Italian guy that caught the long pass against Penn State, but again he was injured.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I forgot about him actually
Yeah.
for a while.
Huh.
What can you do?
Okay.
What can you do?
So
Alrighty.
you're
You got
good.
more questions? You got more questions, Rick?
Of course I do. I'm sure you do. So you're good at receiver. You're good at quarterback. Tight end, I'm assuming we're obviously pretty good as far as receiving goes. Blocking, we need some work. Now,
Yeah.
running backs, what we got there?
A lot.
Is Moulton gonna be the man this year?
I think
Who's he gonna
Bolton's
be?
the man.
I think there's a competition. I'm sure
Yeah.
Moulton will be first team until he loses it.
Who's his
Mhm.
biggest
You know?
challenger?
You know, like what was his name last year that started the season out as the start?
That big guy you're talking about? Oh, he's froze again.
Moulton was the preseason starter, but he was injured for the first 3 games or something. So we
who is his
we
biggest
put
challenger?
in, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them: Xavier Williams, McNeil, LJ Phillips. One thing at LJ
Think about
Phillips, I seen him fumble in a scrimmage so far.
Oh.
And the thing I don't like about fumbling in these scrimmages where they show them on these tapes that I'm putting up,
Mm-hmm.
and people are always commenting about, oh, the offensive line's dominating this, the defensive line did this. They're only going 75% speed.
Right.
They will not go 100%. Even if you went to the spring game, are you going to spring game, Rick?
I think I am, yeah. Unless it's
Okay.
raining or something.
Yeah. Even when you get to the spring game, it's not 100% speed.
Right.
They will not do any 100% hitting
Yeah, you don't
until the fall.
Right.
Kirk Ferentz says we do less hitting than any team in the nation, he said, because I can't afford injuries. And then you get injuries anyway because some kid breaks his foot going up the steps.
Yeah.
Like Reese Vandersee did last year.
Yeah, I know.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So what was your question? Oh, running back. Don't worry about running backs. Don't worry about the offensive line.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about the offense as long as we got a good
That's what I'm getting
quarterback.
to. Yeah, they seem to be pretty solid.
Yeah, I didn't know that I said that we're great at quarterback. I think we are, but I don't know.
Better than average for Iowa?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, in the last 5 years, it's way above average. It'll probably be way better than Gronowski was the first 3 games.
I would say he
really struggled.
But bum shoulder still, whatever.
But we got 3 quarterbacks, our top 4 quarterbacks are in their second year with Tim Lester.
Yeah.
Okay. And running the offense, which Tim Lester's never had that at Iowa. One interesting thing I want to bring up was, I can't remember whether it was Kirk Ferentz or whether it was on Washed Up Walk-Ons or the Vandenberg. They had some guests, and they were talking about Stratton.
Okay.
I know you're a Drake fan, but you know who Stratton is. Famous 5th-string walk-on that ends up
Shaggy
taking over at UCLA, and he ended up starting at Iowa. And I don't know if Stratton ever lost a game. Yeah, he lost. I don't think he lost a game.
Was he 2-1 or 2-0?
He was like 2-0 or something as a starter.
Yeah,
because we lost. But I got to finish this, Dean. And anyway, this guy on the podcast, or coach, I can't remember who said it, said what was so funny about Stratton is he filled in pretty good, but every single play on the helmet microphone they have now, we told Stratton just one place to throw the ball on every play.
Yeah.
This guy might be open. Number 81 might be open on that little curl. Throw it to him.
Otherwise, don't.
He said, and Stratton did fine. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows he did fine until the Nebraska game. And Nebraska, he said Nebraska was smart because they changed the defense at the last second.
Yeah.
And Stratton couldn't complete a pass because what the coaches were telling him was going to be open was not open.
Yeah.
And he said, thank God we threw a little short pass to Caleb Johnson out in the flat. And he somehow broke 7 tackles.
Yep.
And tied the game up for us. Do you have another question, Rick?
Oh, Dean's gone again. Well, okay.
I know he's having trouble with his internet. We'll finish this up, and then when he gets back in, we'll tell him to close the damn show, please.
So we covered offense. I
Mhm.
want to talk about defense, but we'll probably just save that for the next show or something. Special teams. What should we expect from special teams this year?
I'm gonna close this show.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can't finish, John.
Well, we gotta close it.
When's the next show, Dean?
We gotta close it off now.
When's the next show?
Maybe Tuesday.
So Tuesday covers special teams and defense?
Yeah, maybe. One thing I want to bring up is we said we were going to cover was Jacob Warner's the new heavyweight. He coaches the heavyweights at Iowa now. I know Dean wanted to mention wrestling. So
yeah, there you go. All right, guys. Sorry, we're gonna be such a
hit that like and
be
share.
That way. Like,
hit
share.
that like and share.
Not America.
There you go.
Or sub.